fully support our courageous armed forces and undertake a full strategic defence and security review. My government will work with the Afghan government, Pakistan, and international partners for lasting security and stability in Afghanistan. My government looks forward to an enhanced partnership with India. In the Middle East, my government will continue to work for a two-state solution that sees a viable Palestinian state existing in peace and security alongside Israel. My government will work to reduce the threat from nuclear weapons and nuclear proliferation, including the serious international concerns posed by Iran's nuclear program. My government is committed to spend 0.7% of gross national income in development aid from 2013. Other measures will be laid before you. My Lords and members of the House of Commons, I pray that the blessing of Almighty God may rest upon your councils.
Everyone stands in the House of Lords now that the Queen has completed the delivery of the speech, and the Queen and the Duke make their way through the Prince's chamber and then back into the Royal Gallery to retrace the steps of just a few minutes ago. And that is the signal for the members of the House of Commons to make their way back to their chamber and to prepare for 5 days of debate there on the content of the Queen's speech. A Queen's speech, by the way, which lays out plans for probably a good 18 months. Now that this state opening has happened after the election, we don't expect another Queen's speech until November of next year. Processions have started in the Royal Gallery. The maces leading the way, and the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh making their way back to the robing room at the extreme end of the Palace of Westminster, overlooking the Victoria Gardens. Several interesting points there in the speech, not least the visit of the Queen to the United Nations in July, and we can discuss some of those points in just a few minutes' time. David Cameron and Harriet Harman busily chatting as they return to the House of Commons. We can expect a fairly lively debate, at least in the opening sessions when that starts. It's always an interesting moment in terms of debate in the House of Commons, a debate on the Queen's speech. Hilary Benn, Alistair Darling, Philip Hammond, David Lammy, Ed Balls, Theresa May, the new Home Secretary, Andrew Lansley. So they're and David Laws there, the new Chief Secretary to the Treasury. So They're all spread out, really. You expect the cabinet to be right at the start of the queue, but they're not. They're all fairly spread out and taking their time to go back. But there we are. The Speaker and the Sergeant-at-Arms are formally welcomed back into the chamber. Nothing can happen without the mace being set in its place near the dispatch box. That's the symbol of the authority of the Speaker, and that means that the House can be in session. And it's on display there. It means that the House can formally be in session. And that really is the cue for the big debate, Nick, isn't it? You know, this is where it all starts now.
That's exactly right. And it starts not just with a list of legislation, we've got 22 bills, but the first line, which is not about a law, but which I think all politicians know will dominate. The speeding up of the reduction in the structural deficit. Sounds dull, doesn't it? But it's about real people's lives, it's about real cuts. It'll be about tax rises in the emergency budget. It'll be about the sort of spending decisions on tax, on spending itself that have not had to be taken for many, many years, if not many decades, in fact. That layered on top of 2 or 3 bills that I think will define how this new coalition government does. They will be excited and will unite very easily, I think, around the Great Repeal Bill, as they're calling it, getting rid of ID cards. The Liberal Democrats will be excited, and the Tories not, about parliamentary reform, the new voting system that they hope to have. And then the thing that really excites Conservatives, particularly in the government, is these schools reforms. They see it injecting competition, injecting freedom into the way the school system works.
Let's take those in turn.